when you're an overweight male, and I mean overweight like the belly, you got the belly, you really have two options, or it appears that society has given you two options of how you go about looking in the professional world.
Sure.
You either, because in the professional world, we all know you tuck your shirt in.
Right.
But when you have a big belly, you have two options. You don't just tuck your shirt in, but it's how you tuck your shirt in. So there are two ways. There are people that wear their pants and buy their pants to go over not only their waist, but over the bottom half portion of their belly.
Right.
So their body looks like a gourd. Or you go underneath, you lift up the belly, you actually just buy pants that fit your waist, and then the belly hangs over, and then you tuck underneath your belly and into the pant. I was talking to someone about this recently. I would for sure not be the person that buys the pants that go over the belly, because you're not fooling anybody.
Are you though?
I feel like when you wear your pants that cover over your belly, it's worse. Like if you're gonna have a belly, own the belly. And don't tuck your shirt in. That's a great solution. Just don't tuck your shirt in.
What if you're like a doctor and you have to?
Then don't buy pants that go over your stomach.
Are you speaking from experience, or are you just speaking from?
Just like it's just a weird thing that's happened. Like think of something. We all know somebody that does this. That instead of wearing pants that go around their waist, they buy gigantic pants that go around their entire stomach.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, it's weird. It's just weird to me, because their waist, they're buying pants with like a 48 waist to go over everything.
Yeah,
Instead of just their waist.
There's like a technical term for it.
Yeah, the chub and tuck. That's the one. The chub and tuck is whenever you go.
I was talking
around
about the
your waist.
FUPA, F-O-P-A.
Never heard of that.
It's called fat over pubic area. It means like when your fat you like tuck your fat in, it's fat over the pubic area.
I've
FUPA.
never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a FUPA. She has a FUPA.
Okay. Just thoughts, people.
Thoughts.
Just thoughts. What would you do if you had a big belly? Would you buy the gigantic pants, or would you buy pants that actually go around your waist and let the belly hang out?
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
What do you prefer? What do you like to see? What do you like to do if you're in that situation?
Yeah.
And you know, we're all made a little differently, so
We are.
It is what it is. Today we're talking about pretty exciting, pretty important.
I actually inhaled water.
Today we're talking about a pretty important and a pretty exciting topic: hiring.
Interviewing. Mostly hiring.
How to find good people. How to interview people. The fun part about this discussion is we actually have learned trial by fire. We've learned through experience on this one.
Yes.
As you guys know, Jordan and I own and operate a garage cleaning and organization business, soon to be home cleaning and organization as well.
And attic.
And basement. So we have hired how many people in the course of our 18 months?
I think we've actually hired like 7.
Hired 7 people in 18 months. So we have a good amount of experience with hiring people. We've learned a lot of things.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind when hiring somebody is you can't always go off of the fact of if you like that person, they would be a good fit for your company. That doesn't always work, because that's the same principle as hiring a friend.
Yes, that's like, but
you can't always do it that way. It's still hit or miss. You really have to consider who do I need for this job, and then only hire somebody that is gonna fulfill the need that you have.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the biggest challenge that you'll face, especially in partnering with people, but also with hiring people, is the fact that when you like somebody, that's usually indicative that you shouldn't hire them, because they're gonna be exactly like you, and that's not gonna help you scale your organization.
True.
You need to hire people that are the opposite of you. So usually people that you wouldn't want to go get a beer with after work, or people that you don't agree with on everything.
Yeah.
So if somebody comes into the interview and you're talking about a topic or a challenge that you face, or you give them like a situational interview where you throw them into the fire on something and they don't do what you agree with, that's actually a good thing. Even though most people will be like, I wouldn't have done it that way, so I'm not gonna hire you.
Yeah.
You know, a company of 10 Seths is gonna fail. A company of 10 Jordans is gonna fail. You
need variety.
You need variety, you need conflict of opinion.
New set of eyes and perspective. It goes a long way, especially with what we do for our business. New perspective can mean the difference in success or failure, because a new set of eyes or somebody that thinks completely differently than we do can identify a solution that we never saw.
Yeah.
Because we weren't capable from our perspective.
Yeah.
So that's a good point.
So what do you think?
Have variety.
What's like the number one thing we've learned from hiring so far? Let's hear yours and I'll share mine.
I think one thing I've learned is I've always been a strong believer in first impressions tell you a lot. They do. They tell you a lot. But they don't serve very well for interviews. I think if you really dislike somebody on the first interview, you can probably, it's safe to say they're not gonna work out. But if you really love somebody, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be, you need to interview them again and again.
Yeah. I think a good story to share is we were hiring, I think, our 4th employee or 5th maybe, and we had a great first interview, went really well. Had a great second interview, went really well. And we were like, okay, let's hire this guy. So we decided, let's call him one more time and have him come in, and we're just gonna congratulate him, tell him he got the job. We're gonna just make sure he can show up on time one more time, you know, make sure he comes prepared one more time, and we're just gonna give him the job. So Jordan calls this guy for the 3rd interview and says, hey man, we really had a great interview. We want you to come back for one more interview. When are you available? And he responded,
this guy lost it. He had enough of Periwinkle. He basically said, screw you guys, I'm not coming in for a 3rd interview. I don't know what you want from me. What company hires somebody 3 times and doesn't or 2 times we've interviewed him.
Yeah.
He thought this was gonna be a 3rd interview, basically told us to screw off, he'll never work for us. His true colors came out.
Yep.
He had the job. He had it. And then his true colors showed, and it actually worked out for both of us because he said he didn't want to work for a company like us that interviews 3 times, and we didn't want a person that wasn't willing to show up for a 3rd interview to receive the job.
Yeah.
So you really do, and we liked this guy a lot. He was smart. We liked his answers to our tough questions. We liked his personality, but that 3rd interview was the straw that broke the camel's back. He wasn't willing to meet with us a 3rd time. So he clearly didn't want the job bad enough.
We're pretty big believers in the rule of 3 after that experience. And it's something that one of my advisors recommended we do. And shortly after that conversation, we were in the hiring process. And so we decided, because Jordan and I were ready to hire this guy after interview number 2. Mm-hmm. But I was like, Jordan, let's do one more. Let's see if he shows up on time one more time. And sure enough, straw broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is, one thing that I've learned is the more you can just cut out the bull crap about like interview questions and like what's your favorite color and like how many golf balls can you fit inside an airplane, the more you can like cut all that crap and literally just give somebody a work-related project and say sink or swim. I think that's the absolute best thing you can do. If you're hiring somebody to clean and organize a garage, then their second interview, take them into your garage and say, how would you tackle this? How would you handle this situation? Like, we actually bring people in and have them operate a garage.
Yeah, that's what we do for our second interview now. We interview once. If we like them, we get them in a garage with our operator.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's interview number 2, because what that's gonna do is it's gonna tell us, are they capable of learning? Are they capable of the physical attributes you need to clean a garage? And 3, is this still something they want to do? Because we only want people that want to be doing this. Why would we want to hire somebody that just comes for a paycheck? We want people to want to be a part of our company. And if cleaning a garage isn't something that they love deep down, then we don't want them, and that's okay. We want them to figure that out before they work for us and get hired officially.
Yeah.
So another thing we've learned is even 3 interviews can't protect you from a bad decision to hire. We've had the guys that have come all 3 times on time, 7 a.m., met 3 interviews, and then first job just tanked. Just as bad as you can possibly imagine it could have gone. But
and I think that's
how it goes.
I think that's just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't believe that you can circumvent that. I think that's just a natural part of the process.
Yeah.
And I guess
it's tough, guys. I mean, you'll learn as you go when you're interviewing people, but you've gotta be diligent and make sure you hire people that, one, you're okay with representing your company. That's huge.
Yeah.
If you're in the service industry like we are, those people, although you may be the owner, when those people are in front of your clients, when they hear your company's name, they're looking at it. They're looking at that guy in front of them with your uniform on, employed by you, that's supposed to be a professional. And you know, they're your company in that moment. So be careful who you hire, and make sure that they're ready to go when they go out there.
So what's your number one takeaway for the audience if they take one thing away from this?
Don't rush hiring somebody. There's people out there that would love to have the job that you're hiring for, and if you are willing to be patient to find them, you will. Yeah. I think that's the main thing. You can't rush finding quality workers. That's really what it is. If you need somebody in 2 weeks, that's too bad. If you need somebody in 2 weeks and you hire somebody in 2 weeks, you're going to end up with somebody that you hired in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I would say my takeaway is try to think outside the box and be a little more creative about how you can, as closely as possible, mimic the true environment of what they're going to be doing in the interview process. You can sit somebody down at a conference table and badger them with questions for days. You can do that 5 times. But if you're hiring somebody to like be a JavaScript programmer for you, and you're never giving them a program to work on or giving them a project to work on and actually seeing how they work, you're wasting your time, you're wasting their time. So my takeaway is, as soon as possible, get them involved in the work that you're hiring for. Even if it's mock, even if you're like, hand them a cell phone and you're like, pretend that you're cold calling me.
Yeah, that works too. Scenarios.
Yeah, because then you're gonna see, because that's what work's all about. It's like getting outside your comfort zone, taking on new projects. If they're not comfortable with it in front of you, they're sure as heck not gonna be comfortable in front of a real customer.
True that.
So that's all we got.
That's all we got, guys. We're just stirring the thought, stirring the pot. You can take this stuff and you can go use it, or you can just keep watching YouTube videos all day. Either way, the choice is yours.
Drop in the comments your favorite thing that you've learned about hiring people. That isn't conventional wisdom. We would love to read it.
All right, guys.
Talk to you later.
Peace out.